Good morning, and welcome to VIGILANT Broadcasting. The station opportunity presents Underneath the Hat with your host, author Sherri Simmons, as she discusses topics to help us all take care of ourselves underneath the hat.
Good morning, and welcome to Underneath the Hat, an affiliate of Vigilant Broadcasting and the Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. My name is Sherri Simmons, and I am your host. Today's topic is a very exciting one for me because it is the day of my Young Ladies at All Times Foundation Sundresses and Hats Luncheon. If you've been tuning in over these last couple of weeks, you've heard me discuss it. So we're basically going to be doing a live on-location episode today of Underneath the Hat as I prepare to get ready for our luncheon at 12 o'clock p.m. So if you're on Facebook and you want to join us, go to our page, Talk Radio TV Network, LLP, and listen to us live. Or if you want to call in and have a conversation about the foundation, you can call us at 319-527-2634. So, as I stated before, today is the day of my Young Ladies at All Times Sundresses and Hats Luncheon. I have been preparing for this for a good month and a half, and I'm truly excited for all that is about to happen. We're going to be moving and shaking. I'm actually in the car right now with my husband, picking up trophies, and now we're headed to the location. So if you're free today at 12 p.m. noon, you can meet us at 70th and King Drive, 7000 South King Drive in Chicago at 12 p.m. noon. Tickets are $25. You can still get them on eventbrite.com. Just type in Young Ladies at All Times, or you can pay at the door. So for those that may not know, Young Ladies at All Times is a foundation, a mentoring program that I started in 2017 after being an intermediate math coach for 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. I realized that the girls today in schools are worse than some of the boys as far as their behavior. And I was also in school for my second master's degree in curriculum and instruction. And for my dissertation, or the paper we have to do at the end of the program, I decided to study girls between the ages of 8 and 12 and figure out why do they behave the way that they do. And after doing research, I realized that a lot of them imitate and emulate the things that they see on reality TV. So I decided to have my dissertation be on the effects of reality TV for young girls between the ages of 8 and 12. And from that came my program, Young Ladies at All Times. For those of you that have read my book, Underneath the Hat, you will notice that a lot of the things that Amanda Jane, the character, went through, other women would have handled it differently. But one thing about Amanda Jane is she prided herself on carrying herself as a young lady at all times, which is where the name comes from. So this program really means a lot to me because it allows for me to be able to sow into these girls the values and experiences that I've been able to have growing up with some of the wonderful women in my life. So I wanted to make sure that I paid it forward and gave these same opportunities to these girls, because one of my best quotes is from Marian Wright Edelman, and she says that you cannot be what you don't see. And I know that I'm blessed to have had all of the opportunities and be in the position that I am today because of the things I was able to see. And some of these girls growing up in these urban cities only see what's on TV and what's outside their windows. Yet we get upset with them when they aren't the best that they can be. But if you only see the bottom of the totem pole, that's all you think exists. So I wanted to make sure that these girls saw that there are other paths that you can take. There are other things that you can do. There are other ways that you can behave and carry yourself. And so that is the purpose and the mission of Young Ladies at All Times. So I started with my board of directors, which consists of 6 other women, and I am the tiebreaker. So those going into business, when you create your board of directors, make sure you have an odd number so that you can be the tiebreaker if necessary. So I have my mother, Reverend Teresa Jackson, who's on the board of directors. I have my very good friend, Glenda Baker. I have Dr. Taylor, Jacqueline Wade, my friend Cassandra Bullock, who now lives in California, and I have Samoa Martin, and then I have myself. So us 7 ladies meet as often as we can, preferably once every quarter, to discuss the different things that we have going on for young ladies at all times. And I chose these women because they have helped to sow into me and have respected me in the positions that I've been in. And most of them I've met through the field of education, because for those of you that may not know, I've been an educator with Chicago Public Schools for 14 years now. I just finished my 14th year yesterday. So it has been amazing to have women around me who don't feel intimidated because you got the young buck coming on the scene who may know a little bit more than them, or we think we do. And they accepted me and opened their arms to me and sold into me all of their knowledge and skill, and have entrusted me to be their leader over this foundation. So I wanted to make sure that I had people in my corner who believed in me and that would push my mission and vision even when I wasn't around. One thing that I learned going through my program for my first master's degree in school leadership is that you should have a critical mass. And your critical mass is a group of people that believe in your vision. Those are the people that will push it even when you're not in the room. They're like your cheerleaders. So these women have been my cheerleaders. They have pushed me when I didn't want to be bothered. They have given me ideas that I've been open to them. And because of them, this program is where it is now. And so that is my board of directors, and we've been working together since 2017. Anything that I need, I know I can go to them, and they will have it, and that these girls will have it. And with the young, like I said before, I wanted to make sure that these girls knew that there is something else out there for them. And because of the upbringing of a lot of the girls that we work with, we focused this year on 2 schools in the Inglewood neighborhood, which is on the south side of Chicago. We focused on D.S. Whitworth Elementary School on 71st and Loomis, and we worked with Nicholson STEM Academy on 60th and Peoria. And so I wanted to make sure that when these girls saw each other, there was a sisterhood. When we came into the room, we were spewing positive things to each other. So one thing that we do at the beginning of each meeting and at the end of each meeting is we do our YLAAT mantra, which is like a motto or a creed. And so we take the initials and we say these 5 sentences. Y, you are important. L, love yourself first. A, always try your best. A smile goes a long way. T, touch the lives of someone every day. And I wanted to make sure that these girls, if they didn't hear anything positive towards themselves the rest of the week, they heard it from someone who looked like them. And so the why, you are important. I wanted the girls to know that you matter. We have so many kids growing up nowadays that don't hear anyone say that you're loved, you matter, you are important, I care about you. And so I wanted that to be the first thing that they heard when they enter into one of our weekly meetings. Love yourself first. Being a young lady myself, I have realized and been in relationships or seen people in relationships that don't realize that it's okay to love yourself. I've seen mothers who put everybody ahead of them, and then they're drained, and they're running on empty, and then they end up being sick, and no one knows how to function without them. And so I've prided myself in taking time out for myself to love Sherri, because if I'm on empty, I can't help fill you up. So I wanted to make sure that I instill that in the girls now, before they become mothers and girlfriends and wives and owners of businesses, that they know how to take care of themselves first so that they can help other people to be their best. Always try your best. I have this motto that I use in my classroom, that as they leave out the room, we say good, better, best. Everyone's good at something. And the more you practice, you'll be better at it. And once you're better at it, if you continue to practice and hone in on your gift, you'll be the best at it. So I want the girls to always know that they can try their best. If you tried your best and your best is a C+, but you tried your best, that's all we can ask for. Now we need to work to help you make it even better. So I wanted to make sure we instill that in them too, that even though your best may not look like someone else's, it's still your best. And once you recognize that, then you can work towards making it better. A smile goes a long way. I see so many kids come in angry at the world. They don't speak. They weren't taught that you should enter a room and speak. And so I wanted to make sure that these girls knew that sometimes just smiling at a person, you don't have to say anything. Walk past the hallway and smile. That could be the only smile that person may have seen that day, or that week, or that month. And just to show yourself friendly will allow for people to flock towards you, which can open up opportunities for you. So I wanted them to know, just a smile. You don't have to say anything. Just show on your face to another person that it's going to be okay. And we've all heard the saying that it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. And you never know what that smile may lead to. I told them a story one time of a person who went into a job interview. There were two people. Both of them were qualified for the position. But one got the job over the other because they shook hands and smiled at the person who interviewed them. So you never know what opportunities you're missing out on because you walk in the room frowning. You never know that person that you see on the bus, you might end up seeing them in an interview 3-4 years from now, and they remember the fact that you looked like the world was on your shoulders, or that no one could help you from that one moment. They always say the first impression is the lasting impression, and that it takes you 5 to 7 more times to meet a person to erase what they first thought of you. So I tell my students all the time, get it right the first time, you won't have to do it again. So a smile goes a long way. And the T, touch the lives of someone every day. Whether it's helping a classmate with their books, picking up a piece of paper that the janitor doesn't have to pick up, or holding the door for someone, helping an elderly woman carry her bag, saying something nice to a teacher, helping a teacher, offering to help a teacher, anything where you're helping to touch someone else's life. We always think that in order for you to make a difference in someone's life, you have to do something major, like give them money, send them on a trip, some big, elaborate idea of what being nice to someone means. Well, sometimes it's just the smallest things that people remember the most. So I wanted the girls to be able to know that you may not have everything that you want. You may not be at the point in your life where you want to be, but there's someone else worse off than you. And so you can give to help someone else be better and be great as well. So that's the mantra that the girls present to each other every week. And I meet with my 6th and 7th grade girls at Wentworth on Mondays. Well, I met. And then on Tuesdays, I met with the 4th and 5th graders at Nicholson after school for an hour and a half. And I have to give a shout out to my best friend, my BFF, my boo, Glenda Baker, who is the counselor at Nicholas STEM Academy. She took time out of her schedule to help me touch the lives of these girls by taking time from her family and helping me to co-facilitate the group at Nicholson every Tuesday, in addition to working her job as a counselor and having her job as an adjunct professor. So these are the type of women that I wanted these girls to be exposed to. During the 3 months, because we actually started this spring cohort in March. So March 11th was the first day that we started at Wentworth, and then March 12th at Nicholson. And I wanted to make sure that we had different activities for the girls to do. So the different activities that they actually participated in, we did a week where we talked about etiquette. We did a week where we did etiquette, so they worked on how to sit at a table, how to enter a room, how to enter a car, because I've been guilty of this too. I just swing my legs in there, but there's a certain way that you sit in a car as a young lady. You are to sit with your legs outside of the car first, have a seat, and then swing your legs around. So that way, if you have on a skirt, no one can see parts of you that they should not see. We also learned how to enter a room. If someone is behind you, hold the door for that person, and then that person is to take the door and hold it for the next person. Don't just slide through the space, not worry about the person that's behind you. We also did table etiquette. They learned how to pass different food around to the table. So if someone next to you wants salt, but you want salt too, don't give yourself salt before you hand it to them. If they ask you for it first, you pass it to them, and then you get it back and give it to yourself. We learn about the napkin. You're supposed to place the napkin in your lap, and when you get up to go to the restroom, you do not put the napkin on the table or on your plate unless you're done eating. If you plan on returning back to the table, you put the napkin on your chair. That lets the waiter know to leave my food there, I'm not done. But if you put the napkin on your plate, that lets them know that the meal was good and that you're done. So I wanted to make sure that these girls understood how to carry themselves at a dinner table, because there are many business meetings that will be had at dinner tables. There will be negotiations at dinner tables, and everyone is always watching. And I did not want to set them up for failure by having them be seated at a table for an opportunity that could change their life and they not be prepared for it. And the best part about that was the girls were given an opportunity when one of our visitors came, who was a chef, to set the table. And before I got there, the girls were setting the table. And it was the best part, one of the highlights of this whole event, because they were setting the table on their own based on what they had learned from the program. So it was so great to see that within a small amount of time, that they were able to pick up the things that we had taught them and apply them already. Sorry, one of the parents is texting me about whether the girls need to dress up. So I'm really wearing a lot of hats today. My sister's like, how are you going to do a radio show and get ready for this luncheon? Hey, I'm a teacher and educate in Chicago. A lot of things are thrown at you at one time, and you have to be able to bounce. So So, yeah, they were given an opportunity to be able to set the table and to show us what it was that they were able to do. And I was so proud to walk in, I almost cried, to see these 4th and 5th graders setting the table, while one of their sisters was being the sous chef to the chef because she wanted to go into culinary once she grew up. So just in the short 3 months that I've been working with these girls, I've seen such a change in their behavior. Teachers have come to me who know that the girls are in their program and have said she's not acting like a lady at all times today. Can you please talk to her? I had a parent text me a couple of days ago and say my daughter's been going through some things emotionally. Can you talk to her? Now, I've only spoken to some of these parents through text, but because of the relationship they know that I have with their daughters, because of the things that their daughters tell them about me, they trust me enough to have me speak to their girls about personal things. And so it makes me feel good to get those calls and get those texts and see those things and hear those reports from teachers that say that the girls' behavior has changed. There's one of my girls in particular, Eve, who is going to 7th grade. And Eve was having some behavioral struggles, I'll say that. And I have seen such a change in her. She's a different person now. And it feels good to be able to see that and know that she is being helped by this program. She's not the same girl that I saw or that I saw in my classes last year. And I was like, oh, that girl right there. She was one of those kids like, oh, that girl. And so to see her now, she is truly becoming a young lady. Her mindset has changed. Her thoughts and views on what she wants to do in the future have changed. And I know that it's because of this program and having someone instill positive things in her instead of always saying how she responded to how she acts and what she does, but finding the good things in her and helping her to be better. I believe we minimize our children by the things that we say to them. These children are like seeds, and if you don't give it enough water and enough love and enough sunlight, then those seeds won't grow. And I've been guilty as an educator 14 years of saying some things that I shouldn't have said to some students, and I've seen the change in their mindset and behavior because of what I said to them. But I know that because of me planting positive things, that I have seen a difference in my girls. And so outside of etiquette, we've done peer pressure, we've discussed colorism for those Generation X people and those of us who grew up on the Cosby Show in A Different World. I exposed my 6th and 7th grade girls to the Cosby Show in A Different World. They had no idea what it was. And I showed them the episode of Vanessa when she got drunk with her friends playing the alphabet game. And we talked about peer pressure. And then I showed them the episode of A Different World where Kim, they did the Mammy episode, and she had to deal with being treated differently because she was dark-skinned. And so we talked about that. My 4th and 5th grade girls, we discussed bullying and being bullied not only by your peers but also by adults and family members into doing something that you don't want to do. So just opening up those conversations to let them know that this is a safe place. Whatever we discuss here will be kept here unless it's to help save your life. And so I wanted the girls to know that they can trust us and that we'll do everything that we can to be able to help them. And so we've been able to have those conversations, and I'm glad about it because we've learned so much from our girls and been able to instill in them so much. So when we come back, I'm going to share with you about the other component of Young Ladies at All Times, I speak about you can't be what you don't see. So when we come back, I'm going to discuss how I've been able to show them different paths that they can take. So we'll be back in a moment. This is Underneath the Hat.
Welcome back to Underneath the Hat with your host, author Sherri Simmons.
Hi, we're back with Underneath the Hat, an affiliate of Vigilant Broadcasting and the Talk Radio and TV Network, LLP. My name is Sherri Simmons, your host, and we've been discussing my upcoming luncheon in an hour and a half at 12 p.m. noon for my foundation, Young Ladies at All Times. If you're on Facebook, you can check us out at Talk Radio TV Network, LLP. Listen to us live, leave a comment, or you can call in to discuss with us all that you've heard or questions you may have about the foundation and luncheon at 319-527-2634. So when we left off, I was sharing with you different components of the foundation, Young Ladies at All Times, that I started in 2017. And if you're free today, we are inviting you to our Young Ladies at All Times luncheon, sundresses and hats or fascinators. We started at 12 p.m. noon at the Congregational Church of Park Manor, 7000 South King Drive. Tickets are $25. You can find them on eventbrite.com. Just type in Young Ladies at All Times, or you can pay at the door. All proceeds will go to the girls. We're going to have food. We're going to have games, photo booth, a DJ. We're passing out awards. We're honoring 3 women who have played an intricate part in the foundation, being where it is today. So if you're free, come on out. We're looking for young and seasoned women ages 5 to 105, because I truly believe that we all can learn from each other. And so one of the components of the program is that I wanted to make sure that the girls see women who look like them, grew up like them, and are where they want to be when they grow up. And so at the beginning of the first week of the program, I asked the girls to fill out a questionnaire, and they were able to tell me what it was that they wanted to be when they grew up. And I had a girl that wanted to be a chef, one who wanted to be a pastor, girls who wanted to be cosmetologists, one wanted to be a scientist. I had those who wanted to go into education. And so I wanted to make sure that I found women who were in those fields that they wanted to go into. And so thank God for these women who were willing to come in and sew into these girls so that they were able to see up close and personal the women that grew up like them, used to look like them, now were grown versions of them, doing the things that they wanted to do, so that way they can know that it was possible. Just like that quote from Marion Wright Edelman, you can't be what you don't see. So I wanted to make sure that they knew it's possible. Regardless of what neighborhood you grew up in, what block you lived on, what your parents and your family said about you, you can do this. And so I was blessed to have Neosha Thomas come in, who owns an art studio. She came in and did a paint vision board party with the girls. And she's also an entrepreneur and an artist. So one of the girls who makes little clay dolls, Janiyah Land, she was able to come and see a woman who looked like her doing the things that she likes to do. So now she knows in my mind, I can do this because I met someone who's doing it too. I had Danielle Townsend come in, who has a foundation, DeMael Foundation. She's an entrepreneur. She came in and spoke to the girls who want to be entrepreneurs. So they were able to see someone who looked like them in the field of entrepreneurship. I had Chef Jillian Stewart come in, who is actually going to be our chef for today. She has the company Signature Taste by Jillian. Look her up on Instagram and Facebook. She came in and brought in different types of bruschetta. So the girl who wanted to be a chef, she got to work with Jillian and prepare our lunch. So we had crab and mango bruschetta. We had tomato and cream cheese bruschetta. So they got to participate in actually being a part of helping to create the meal, serving each other, and being a real sous chef, doing what it is, practicing what she wants to do now, 10 years from now. And Jillian was nice enough to bring her an apron, so she got to have her own apron that she got to keep and be able to use that and everything else to be able to show people, hey, I'm going to be a chef, and I already have one of the tools that I need, which is an apron and the apron utility belt. So it was just good to see their faces light up. And if you want, I have all the pictures posted on our Facebook page from every week, every visitor, every event and activity we've done. You can check us out on Facebook, Young Ladies at All Times. So she was able to live the life of a chef and prepare a meal for her sisters. I also had my mother, Reverend Teresa Jackson, come in to speak to the student, the girl who wants to be a pastor. So she brought in her robes and her Bible and explained to them how she creates sermons, and we talked about religion. She was shocked by some of the conversations that the girls were actually having and the questions that they had about religion. And so it was good to be able to have that girl see someone who was in the area, the field that she wanted to be in. I had Dr. Millhouse, who's a doctor. She came, a urologist. She came in and spoke to the girls about STDs and sex, my 6th and 7th graders. And they got to play a game, a true or false game. So they got to see a real nurse or a doctor who specializes in the female body come in and have conversations with them. We had Dr. Desiree Leach, who is a scientist. She actually helps to study cardiovascular medicine on rats and mice. So she came in and spoke to the girls who wanted to be a scientist. Now, I had one girl in particular, Shekyla, who wanted to be a scientist. But because of Dr. Leach allowing us to come and shadow her at her medical facility downtown at Northwestern University, 2 of the other 6th grade girls, Tamari and Eve, now want to be scientists. Tamari wants to be a marine biologist because of the opportunity she got to go and shadow a scientist in a lab. So she took her love for science and her love for animals and combined the two. So these are the types of opportunities and experiences that I wanted to give the girls. It's funny, I'm driving down 79th, where are we? 79th Street, and on this church it says Seed Sowers. That's the name of the church. So I wanted to be able to be a seed sower. I wanted to pull women into the program that are where these girls want to be and sow seeds into them and to help them grow. And Dr. Leach is going above and beyond. She'll actually be at the luncheon today because she has a organization called Colors of Medicine. Look her up. And it is a foundation organization of African-American men and women who are in the medicine field, who are mentoring those young people who want to go into the medicine field. And Shekyla is actually going to be a part of her program. Now, she normally focuses on high school students, but because she saw the passion that my now 8th grade Shekyla Banks had for medicine, she's willing to make an exception to the rule and let Shekyla in. A smile goes a long way. So because Shekyla had passion in her eyes and she was nice to Dr. Leach saw something in her and she's willing to mentor her through her process of being a biomedical scientist. So these are the type of stories that I'm going to share at this luncheon today with our guests. And I'm hoping that those that are listening or that are tuned in on Facebook are free so you can come and see the things that we've been able to do with these 16 girls from 4th through 7th grade. And we had another guest, KB Evans, who's going to be our MC today. She's an entrepreneur, she's a singer, and she's also a motivational speaker. She came in and spoke to the girls about personal hygiene and conflict resolution and how to carry themselves as young ladies as far as their attire and what they wear and how they wear it. Because before you open your mouth, the first thing people see is what you look like. And so we wanted to make sure that they carried themselves in such a way to where people weren't turned off and didn't even want to hear what it is that they had to say. So we've given the girls all of the tools that they need to be successful in this world, starting at the young age of 9, so that if a situation occurs or if an opportunity occurs, that they'll be ready to walk in and claim it. So from the visitors that they've received, they also have my sister who's in the car, Twyla. She came in and had a very deep conversation with my 6th and 7th graders about teen pregnancy, because they're at the age now where more and more girls are having sex and getting pregnant. And so her being a teen parent herself, and now her son is 14, she was able to share their real life experience with them. That is not all it's cracked up to be. That is cute. You got a baby, oh, you're a mommy. But no one tells you about how much those diapers cost, how much the formula costs. And once the baby shower is over, that it's a real thing. It's a real baby. It's a real human being that's relying on you to be able to take care of them. And so she had a real conversation with them about the reality of being a single teen mom. And I really do think that it made a lot of light bulbs go off about how they think about sex and the little things that can lead to it. So I wanted to be transparent with these girls. I wanted it to be authentic. I didn't want to sit there and tell them stuff that I hadn't experienced. So I made sure that I brought people who could give them a real, true testimony of how it is being in these fields, how it is living these different lives that looked like them. So when we come back, I'm going to explain to you what the day will entail in the next hour and 20 minutes at 12 o'clock noon at our luncheon, Young Ladies at All Time. Again, if you're free today, go to eventbrite.com and get your ticket, Young Ladies at All Times, or meet us at 7000 South King Drive at 12 p.m. noon. Don't forget your sundress and your hat. When we come back, I'll tell you what you'll be in store for our luncheon. This is Underneath the Hat. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to Underneath the Hat with your host, author Sherri Simmons.
LLP. I'm your host, Sherri Simmons, and this is turning out to be an interesting day. It is the day of my luncheon for my foundation, Young Ladies at All Times. If you're free, join us at 12 p.m. noon at 7000 South King Drive, the Congregational Church of Park Manor. Tickets are $25. We will have food, entertainment, music. We're giving out awards. So if you're free, get your sundresses and your hats, whether you're 5 or 105. Join us as we celebrate these young girls that I've been given the pleasure to sow into since March of this year. If you're on Facebook, you can check us out on Talk Radio TV Network, LLP. Go to that page, and we're live now. If you want to call in these last few moments and talk to us, you can call us at 319-527-2634. So when I left off, I was telling you about all of the amazing visitors we've had these last 3 months, from a chef to an entrepreneur to a minister, a scientist, a doctor, who have sown into these girls. And so with these last few minutes, we've also exposed them to field trips. One thing about me, I love to travel. And once I got the bug, it was over. I knew I wanted to travel. I wanted to see new things because I realized that you learn a lot from watching other people. And so I wanted to make sure that these girls had that opportunity and that experience. And I wanted to choose trips that allow for us to fellowship, but also open their eyes to and expanded their horizons. So the first trip that we did was to Arena Lane on 103rd and Cicero, and we went bowling. And I knew that because this was their first time meeting each other, they didn't really know one another, so I made it so that we played teams, and they had to pick a girl from another school to get to know them. So we had competitions for the team that scored the most points. They got money, and then we did singles competition, and those who won got money. So the girls had fun. They spent most of their time at the concession stand, but we had fun. And then our next trip was to Glow Run in Schaumburg. So we got dressed up in our T-shirts and our white clothes and our headbands, and for these young black girls from Inglewood, we all made sure we had our bonnets and our scarves on. And we went to Glow Run, which started at 8 o'clock p.m. and went to like 11. And we ran, well, I walked, but they ran through bubbles. Bubbles, pink bubbles, green bubbles. And we just had a blast. And they got medals at the end to show that they finished. Now I have to tell this story, because for whatever reason they had a split in the race. And so most of my girls ended up going to the split, which they thought would be the shortcut, when it ended up taking them back to the starting line. So they never did finish the race, which was a life lesson. Sometimes what looks to be a shortcut ends up taking you back to where you began. So it's easier to just take the long ride or the long run so that you can get to where you ultimately need to be. And we enjoyed each other. Everybody was sleeping in the car by the time we made it back to Chicago, but it was fun. You can find those pictures on our Facebook page, Young Ladies at All Times. And so I was just so excited to be able to open their horizons, to see something different. And that morning I was able to take my 6th and 7th grade girls, like I stated earlier, to do a tour of Northwestern University's medical facility with Dr. Leach as we shadowed her in her field of science. The girls were excited and happy about the fact that they were able to do all of these things that they've never done before, and I was happy and excited to be able to give them that experience. And so I'm just glad that God has entrusted me with the opportunity to be able to do these things with these girls and share these opportunities with them and open their minds to knowing that you can be whatever you want to be, because you now know that there is more out there than what you see outside your window and on your block and on the TV. And so I want to give a big thank you to those people who have helped to sow seeds, water seeds, put sunlight on seeds, guard these seeds, and have helped me to make this foundation a success. Now, for those of you that are coming this afternoon at 12 p.m. to the Young Ladies at All Times Sundresses and Hats or Fascinators luncheon, we're starting at 12 p.m. I can see now that traffic is going to be a little tight because the church across the street is having a funeral. which looks like it either hasn't started or is about to start. So FYI to those that are coming, parking will be a little tough. But we're going to start at 12 p.m. We're going to have music by DJ Soulcat. We're going to have food by Signature Taste by Jillian, decorations by my younger sister, Quinny's Creation. We're also going to have awards given out. We're going to honor 3 women with our Angel of the Year Award, Principal Janelle Thompson of Wentworth Elementary School, Principal Lachey Jenkins of Park Manor School, and my BFF, Glenda Baker. They're going to be honored with our Angel of the Year Award. And we'll also have individual personalized awards for each girl in the program. They're going to receive a trophy with their name and whatever their future career is, and a little medal that floats inside of the trophy that identifies what their career will be. So one of them wants to be an aspiring chef, so it says future chef, and it has a medal inside with a chef's hat and 2 spoons. So I wanted to make sure that each girl got to walk away with something. And we also have my 4 girls who had semi-perfect attendance for the program. They'll be honored as well. So I'm just so excited about what we've been able to do. I forgot one visitor we've had. We had Suzanne Irvin, who is an entrepreneur, and she created this app called App Art. So check it out, APPART, where the girls were able to create it was basically like a vision board, but with words, adjectives that describe themselves, and they can put them in any form, any shape. So we had hearts, we had the peace sign with the 2 fingers. Somebody did a cloud, somebody did angel wings. So they were able to type all these words into a laptop and choose what shape they wanted, and it became a picture. It's called App Art, APPART. So go and support Suzanne Irving. She'll also be here. And it's just been amazing to see all of the things that we've been able to do in such a short time. And I've even had more people who are going to help next year. So I'm going to be discussing some things with my board of directors this summer and see about maybe having a fall session and also a spring. So we'll see how the Lord moves. But I just want to thank everyone for all of their love and support. These last 2 years, we have done so much and touched so many girls. Prayerfully, I'll be able to add a new school next year. So we started out with 1 school in 2017. Now we have 2 schools in 2019, and hopefully we'll have 3 in 2020. So I'm just so excited about where we're going and what we've been able to do. So for those that are coming, making your way to the luncheon, preparing for the luncheon, I can't wait to see you here. I'm excited for what we've done and what we're getting ready to do. And we're going to have some fun. We're going to have a dance break. I love the wobble, so we'll probably do the wobble to get everybody up. We're going to have 2 parts of the program where we have pose for a camera. So my sister, Queenie, is creating a photo booth so you can go take photos. And we're going to have parts of the program where we stop for selfies. So try to get as many selfies in as you can with someone that you don't know. And then I've created cards for each person where they can share the pictures. So if you're not able to attend, you can still be there with us because we're going to post the pictures on Facebook. So check out our page, Young Ladies at All Times, and look at the pictures as they pop up because they'll be coming all day from noon to 3 p.m. We're also going to play this game called Underneath the Hat, which is our version of hot potato. So I brought one of my fancy hats, and if the music stops and you're holding the hat, you have to answer the question. And so I can't wait to hear some of the responses that we're going to get. So I want to make sure that the girls got to see women their age, women older than them, having fun, fellowshipping. This is their version of a network party. So they get to network and see some of the guests and visitors who came to sew into them, and they get to meet new people who can possibly sew into them. So I'm just excited for the girls and the opportunity that they're about to have, and the doors that have opened for them. So I just hope that everyone can join us and be a part of the program and the luncheon, have some good food, good fellowship, good laughs, and have a good time for a few hours. So, again, for those that are on here, on Facebook listening, if you're not doing anything between 12 and 3, join us for our Young Ladies at All Times Sundresses and Hats Luncheon. We will start at 12 p.m. The address is 7000 South King Drive. It's the Brown Church on the corner. Tickets are $25. You can find them on eventbrite.com, or you can pay at the door. If you do it through Eventbrite, make sure you type in Young Ladies at All Times, and we'll pop right up. All proceeds will go back to the foundation so we can get ready for our new session, and we can expose them to more opportunities, more visitors, more experiences. I want to thank everyone who has helped to make this a success, to my husband, Vince, who's been my shoulder, my cheerleader, my chauffeur, my security, to my mother, who has been my personal secretary, Reverend Teresa Jackson, to my sister, Quinny, and her business, and my aunt who's in there, Lisa, helping her decorate and get things together now, to Jillian Stewart, the owner of Signature Taste by Jillian, to DJ Soulcat, also to Lauren, who is one of my 5th graders, who's actually going to be my videographer today. She's going to record different parts of the event, and we're going to create a video and post it on Young Ladies at All Times, so look out for that. I'm trying to sew into as many girls as I can. So now I have a future videographer and entrepreneur. I'll share with you soon about that. She's going into getting one of her inventions patented and trademarked with some of her other classmates that we've been working on at the school. So I am so excited, and let me get on in here and see what's going on. I want to thank you all so much. This has been an amazing experience, and this is actually my second to last show for the summer. So make sure you tune in next week, because I'm going to be doing a live book discussion on my book. Underneath the Hat. So I'll keep you posted and put information so you can call in and we can have a live book discussion on my book. And next week will be my last show for the summer. So I also want to thank Justin Walker, my engineer. He's been making sure that I have enough time to take care of business in the middle of this show. So thank you so much, Justin. This has been Underneath the Hat, and I want to make sure I've been your host, Sherri Simmons, and I want you to make sure that you take care of yourself underneath the hat. See you next week.
Thank you for tuning in to Underneath the Hats radio show. We will see you here again next Saturday at 10 o'clock a.m. Central Time. Follow Sherri on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Underneath the Hat, and visit her website, sherrisimmons.com. Always remember to take care of yourself underneath the hat. See you next week.